Dear friends, thank you for your great support for the parish of Peter and Paul. As you also know from the governmental announcements, that the parish or the churches and various religious organizations have been now able to receive 100 persons for congregational worship. And thus, with this in mind, we have decided as a parish to stop the live recording and the putting up of all our masses from this weekend onwards, because there are more people coming back, and the ideal is definitely for you to see you face to face rather than across the screen. So we hope that you will come back and gradually, so that you will also join us as really physically and also truly as a community to worship together before God. We will still, for your benefit and spiritual nourishment, put out the homily that I will be preaching every weekend for your meditation. We hope that you will find that these meditations will be helpful for your spiritual growth. Thank you, and may God bless you all. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to the chief priests and elders of the people, "The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a feast for his son's wedding. He sent his servants to call those who had been invited, but they would not come. Next, he sent some more servants. 'Tell those who have been invited,' he said, 'that I have my banquet all prepared. My oxen and fattened cattle have been slaughtered. Everything is ready. Come to the wedding.' But they were not interested. One went off to his farm, another to his business, and the rest seized his servants, maltreated them, and killed them. The king was furious. He dispatched his troops, destroyed those murderers, and burned their town. Then he said to his servants, 'The wedding is ready, but as those who were invited proved to be unworthy, go to the crossroads in the town and invite everyone you can find to the wedding.' So these servants went out onto the roads and collected together everyone they could find, bad and good alike, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. When the king came in to look at the guests, he noticed one man who was not wearing a wedding garment, and he said to him, 'How did you get in here, my friend, without a wedding garment?' And the man was silent. Then the king said to the attendants, 'Bind him hand and foot and throw him out into the dark, where there will be weeping and grinding of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen.'" The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
My dear friends, the wedding feast, the wedding banquet of the Son, is an image of the Eucharistic feast and the Eucharistic banquet. And you and I know that all sorts of people come to Mass. All sorts of people. And you and I also know that those who come to Mass may not exactly have the right intentions or even the motives. The Mass or the Eucharist is supposed to be a feast of the foretaste of heaven. Like what the prophet Isaiah in today's first reading says, "A place of banquet of rich foods and fine wines. On the mountain the mourning veil will be removed, death will be destroyed." But sad to say, those who come to Mass form generally three groups of people, as how the Gospel today elucidates. First, those who are purely not interested, and they don't even want to come. Like maybe some of us that we know that even when the church is open, they don't come back to Mass. And then there are the good people, and there are also the bad ones. My friends, the bad people are the ones without the garments. And the garment actually is something so simple that if you and I do not even try to make an effort to at least honor the host, because for goodness sake it's a wedding, and we don't even put an effort to try to be part of the celebration, then in itself we are calling ourselves to fault. The lack of the wedding garment shows a lack of effort, maybe even a sense of entitlement, that since you invite, I come, so you take it or leave it, I don't need to honor you. And for goodness sake also, the wedding host is a king. It's not my friend. So the bad people are those who have no intention to reform. There's no intention to want to at least play the game. There's no intention to want to follow the Lord. Whether you are king or not king is not important. I am more important than you. That is what the bad people are saying without the garment. And many of us come to Mass maybe with this intention in mind. God owes me an explanation for everything. The King, who is the Lord, sees clearly all the interior. That's why the King at one glance can say, this person is not one of mine. But for the good, he promises everything. The fine wines, the tear removal, the destroyer of death. That's why St. Paul, in the second reading, in his letter to the Philippians, can say, there is nothing I cannot master with the help of the one who gives me strength. The bad ones without the garment didn't even try. Didn't even bother. And thus, the destruction, which in many ways are not metaphorical, would take place. To the good, the place of blessing would be their inheritance, the wedding banquet. To the bad, they will be destroyed and cast out, where there will be weeping and grinding of teeth. The invitation of entering the banquet or the Eucharistic table is a call to conversion. We need to try at least to adapt to the Lord. And He will supply the rest. And He will reward us for our efforts, but you and I must at least try. Remember, my dear friends, the Eucharist that we partake, like what St. Paul says, can be for our salvation, or can also conversely be for our damnation.